Hello and welcome to Pinesdale, baby. When we left off last time, X was just driving little Q and little X home. We learned that they were 1985 Seattle Supersonics super fans being in Pinesdale, Idaho. The Sonics finish 31-51 in 1985, but the boys are loyal. That's what childhood's all about. Go Pack Go, your narrator says. As the boys were just shit-talking about how dope Gerald Henderson Sr.'s fucking mid-range shot is, X was having one of those adult meltdowns. You're born with a destiny, or at least a route, no matter how much you fucking hate it. Oh golly, X thought, I have two bodies in the fucking basement of my bar that I own. Technically. Doing the best I can for my family, but not necessarily doing well for the world. Although X kind of thought this was the actual world. The private world's the real world. What would my life be like if I got with a, X thought. She's probably reading a book right now. O, love her to death, but she's an O. Sometimes I come home and there's a lamp broken. Just comes with the territory. After dealing with your mother, you can handle any woman, X's dad used to say. And it's fucking true. He comes home to the broken lamp. 15 minutes later, his O is back to her cozy fucking place in life. He's a good man. For being a piece of shit. But like every adult, X spent most of his time on this planet wondering what if. Once they got home though, X calmed down a little bit. He made sure little X and little Q had everything they needed. He rolled a joint for his darling O because that little cutie pie just can't do it. So X hands O her joint, ruffles her hair, gives a little kiss on the top of the head, then looks her in the eyes as if to say, I have Mafia duties that need doing. I'll see you in a bit. X's and O's to you, my dear. So X heads back out into the fall air. There's nothing like that cool fall air to get your brain going on a walk. Everything's dying around you, but it also feels very nice outside right now. We're human, and one of the few perks of that is that we figured out how to stay warm in the cold. He gets to the bar to recover the bodies. No one's there because this just kind of has to be an individual job. Who's X gonna ask to help? The mayor Q or the town drunk C? It's just not gonna happen. So, solo job. X was happy to see that they already put the bodies on the gator. X noted that he was gonna have to give that Mafia dude an extra beer next time he rolled through. So X turns the gator on and he heads to the nearest Forrest. Not the Forrest that almost ruined the Paul brothers' career, but not unlike that Forrest either. It was very, very rare for a suicide to occur in this forest, but happening upon a body was not. The locals referred to it as the keep your dog moving forest. But even so, the forest just had a calming effect on people. That's psychology. If you're feeling down, just duck your head into a bucket of ice water with green dye in it, and everything will turn around for you, baby. So X is driving the bodies on the path, tapping the wheel a little bit. Singing Pretty Boy Floyd by Woody Guthrie in his head. In the fight that followed, he laid that deputy down. Every crime in Oklahoma was added to his name. I fucking work for the Mafia and get rid of bodies sometimes. But when X turned the next corner, he noticed a light down the way about half a mile. I better stop singing about my duties, X thinks to himself. It was rare for X to run into anyone after sundown on this path. The townspeople knew enough about this area to avoid it during these hours. Ultimately, he could only guess what this issue might be, so he decided to go head on and just drive towards the light. Not that he could just avoid them easily, either. It was pretty much you gotta run through the wall here. Hashtag Pretty Boy Floyd. Junior. As he drove towards the light, X was a little nervous because, he doesn't like violence, doesn't want anything to happen to anybody. But ultimately, this guy's playing with his own life. Once he got within a couple 100 feet of the light, he noticed that it was a golf cart, which could only mean it was the town sheriff. X was pretty relieved. Not only does this man have a relationship with his boss, but also X has been giving him some free beer for a couple years, so on two different folds, this guy's not gonna fuck with this body situation. What could they want, though? X still had to wonder. X was finally able to pull up alongside of him, so he asked, "What's happening, P?" "Well, for one thing, X, I could hear you wailing Pretty Boy Floyd by Woody Guthrie from half a mile down the trail." "Well, P, you had such an issue when I sang I Shot the Sheriff in the bar that I had to find a new song." "Well, let me recommend the Beatles to you, Z, for fuck's sake. Like those pretty boys have ever ridden a motorcycle. Come on." "I'd rather listen to Sylvester's Do You Wanna Funk." "Well, that makes no sense, Z, but I came to warn you about, one of the new detectives seems to be a little too focused on what happens in this forest. We've done everything short of telling him to fuck off here, but, you know newbies, they, fresh out of the academy, just want to fix society. He's like 6 months of daily horrors away from accepting our fate, but for now he seems to be something we should keep an eye on." "Yeah, sounds like a plan," X said. I've noticed that you hired a few new police officers in the last couple months, so, which one are we talking about here?" "He's the letter M one," the sheriff said. "Oh, the fat one?" X said. "That does make me feel a lot better. It's gonna be easy to keep an eye on him. Hell, I could probably make a chicken salad sandwich for the guy that's so good he'll leave me alone forever." "You do make one hell of a chicken salad sandwich," the sheriff agreed. "The secret's in the onion powder," X replied. "And then I actually put the chicken salad sandwich on the grill, let it kind of sear, mayo decompose into that beautiful brown flavor, throw it in some toast, add some cheese, lettuce, and we're fucking rolling." And with that, X and the sheriff shook hands and went their separate ways. The sheriff back to Pinesdale and X down this dark path. The thought did cross X's mind that maybe M was tracking the sheriff and overheard that conversation, but he was relatively sure, from past experiences with Q, that you hear a fat guy when he's going through the forest, especially in fall. X was nearing the drop-off area, which was really just a cliff that dropped down about 15 feet. To nothing. No one was going down there. The bigger threat was backing down into the ditch himself because it's too fucking dark out in these woods at night. But you know X, that man's a professional, so he backed in, hit the lever to raise the cabin, and then bing bang, skiddly bop, bodies at the bottom of the ditch, where they're supposed to be. Now with that situation taken care of, X drove back to his home with a peace of mind he hadn't had in quite a while. For he had a new issue. This new cop M walking around trying to figure out all the dirty deeds of this town was exactly what the doctor ordered for X. Now he didn't have to think about his path in life and had this new issue to ponder. Will the police officer, M, find his body at the bottom of this ditch someday? We'll find out in good time. Will M be able to take the Mafia down in Pinesdale? Almost certainly not. It's just like when the Mennonites stole from my family's business. The local cops wouldn't go investigate their one and only lead because he would shoot at them if they stepped on his property. Just take the chicken salad sandwich as an offering, M. It'll save this town a lot of trouble. Next time on Pinesdale, our Mayor Q is going to have to address City Council. And with the mayorship being up for grabs with the new election, that should be fun. Have a good one, everybody.